First significant winter storm of the season, and we're looking at some wintry weather conditions here, especially later Saturday evening through a good chunk of the day on Sunday. Speaking of which, it's towards the end of the storm where we're going to be seeing a flash freeze coming in, and that can be a bit on the dangerous side if you're not familiar with flash freezes. What will happen is any kind of snow, slush, sleet we get here on Sunday, even some puddles that may be there, whatever we get by Sunday afternoon, temperature is going to drop about 10 or 15 degrees, and it is going to freeze solid. So keep that in mind. If you have travel plans for Sunday later in the afternoon, you're going to want to have some rock salt with you probably. Keep an eye on those sidewalks, keep an eye on those bridges and overpasses as the flash freeze comes in and things just sail up very quickly. So keep that in mind. Then we kind of flip the script here. By the middle of next week, we talk about a significant rain and wind storm that's going to have a new round of problems here. Perhaps winds gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour by Tuesday night into Wednesday. And we know we just had that big rain and wind storm back the week before Christmas. So hopefully we don't have a repeat of that. But, let's take this one storm system at a time. So here's what the Weather Service has done this afternoon. As of Friday afternoon, we have winter storm warnings in effect now, most of central and western Massachusetts, good chunk of Connecticut. Winter storm watches in effect very close to the Bridgewater line. I have a feeling this will probably be extended a bit eastward here overnight tonight, or we'll probably be having a winter weather advisory by the time we get to Saturday. We'll keep an eye on that. It's right on the borderline of the criteria that the Weather Service uses, whether they call us an advisory or a winter storm warning. I think the results are going to be very similar here. Temperatures across the region have cooled quite a bit. That's why we're talking about any chance of snow. Of course, we've had a pretty mild start to the winter here, but temperatures have been cooling down the last several days here. And today we've spent most of the day in the 30s, and it's got a bit of a bite out there too. We had cold temperatures this morning with wind chills. We've warmed up slightly, but we're still on the cold side. However, I want you to take a look at our ocean temperatures. As you could take a look at a couple of the buoys that we use, 43, 46. So it's a bit warmer on the ocean than it should be for this time of year. And that's why you've seen a lot of discrepancies in the forecast, because undoubtedly some of that warmer air is going to get tapped into the storm system at some point later on Saturday night or Sunday morning. That's why I think we're going to have, at the very least, a very wet consistency to any snowfall that we have here. And I think there will be times when we may mix with, even change to some rain at times, and that's why those snow totals are going to be a little lower as you get towards southeastern Massachusetts, especially the Cape and the islands. Here is the storm system right now. This again as of Friday afternoon, affecting most of the nation's midsection. It's still getting itself together. It's going to move down towards the Gulf, move across the southeastern states, and then shoot up the coastline here by the time we get to Saturday. And then it's going to kind of hook off to the east. So it's going to be very close to that benchmark, that area where we like to see for classic nor'easter tracks. However, again, with the ocean being a bit warmer, that may play into it. You can kind of see that with our models here. It's our short-term models. You see some rainfall mixing in, especially at the very beginning of the storm. This is later on Saturday evening. And then we kind of get snowy overnight, maybe a little bit more mixing early Sunday morning. And then everything ends, again, with that freeze later on Sunday afternoon. That's the idea. Our GFS model is a bit cooler solution, so it holds more snow here. But again, you get the idea. I think the chance for some mixing is certainly there, and that's why we kept totals the Bridgewater area a bit lower. But you know what? We've been calling for about 3 to 6 inches the last few days, and I think that's probably what we're going to stay with here. But it's a very tight gradient. If, for example, you're heading off to that Patriots game, some of those communities just off to our west could see amounts closer to maybe 8 or 10 inches. So keep that in mind. If you're heading over towards Plymouth or the shoreline or down towards the Cape, it's going to be a little less than 3 inches. So 3 to 6 is a good average here for Bridgewater. Again, the height of the storm, really, I'd say anywhere between 10 o'clock tomorrow night to about 6 o'clock Sunday morning, 6 o'clock Sunday evening, and then it'll be over after that. And again, we do have that chance of some mix or rain coming in here, especially Sunday morning. However, the biggest headline and the biggest story to grab out of this is that flash freeze coming in Sunday evening. I cannot stress it enough. Any snow, sleet, or slush you have along the sidewalks, along your driveways, you're going to want to get it out of there by Sunday evening, because once that freeze comes in, everything will be frozen solid. So please keep that in mind. Also, if you're walking around at all those sidewalks on Sunday evening, you're going to want to make sure you pay attention and stay away from any of those icy spots that will be out there. Let's go ahead and talk about the next 4 days, shall we? So Saturday again, during the day you're fine if you have any plans, no problems at all. The snow comes in later on Saturday evening. It's a wintry day for sure. On Sunday, before we start to clear out on Monday, and then stormier conditions arrive by later on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.